Hello, my name is Eliza Kosoy, and I'm honored to be speaking with you today at Arduino Day 2023. Firstly, because the number one question I get when I talk about my product is, what is an Arduino? So I'm really excited to not have to answer that question today. So who am I? I'm Eliza Kosoy. I'm finishing my PhD at UC Berkeley, where I work at the intersection of child development and artificial intelligence with Professor Alison Gopnik. I'm also the founder of E-liza Dolls. E-liza Dolls are 18-inch dolls, which are the same size as an American Girl doll, if you're familiar, that have Arduinos inside that teach young girls starting as early as 5 years old how to code and tinker with hardware. So, in 2019, women made up only 27% of the STEM workforce, and as you can imagine, and perhaps some of the women in hardware who are watching this talk can empathize with, this is a huge problem for a myriad of reasons. During my career, I've spent time in various places where I found myself being one of very few women in the room. I started thinking about how to fix this during my PhD and had the realization that teaching these concepts really needs to start early in childhood. So I started doing STEM outreach and volunteering at public libraries. I was teaching kids about hardware and coding using things such as the Makey Makey toy and other coding toys, which I was a huge fan of, until I realized that girls seemed less interested in what I was teaching, and it didn't seem to be their fault. When you Google STEM or coding toys, this is what comes up. Notice how blue and dominated a lot of these images and toys are. There's a lot of little boys playing, there's robots, there's race cars, there's soccer balls, and maybe this is one reason why girls seemed less interested. So this is when I had my epiphany moment. We need to have a coding toy made just for girls. As a former doll-obsessed child, see my photo here with one of my signature cardboard homemade doll houses, I knew it had to be a doll. And that's how E-liza Dolls was born. So what is an E-liza doll? The E-liza doll is an 18-inch doll that has an Arduino inside. Currently, I'm using the BBC microbit, and she works by having sensors plug into her arm ports and unlocking more features. The doll is coded through the microbit app, which uses Scratch-style block coding, which is the standard for teaching children how to code. And then that code they create in the app gets sent over Bluetooth to the actual doll. And once they get really good at the block coding, they can even code in JavaScript. So what kind of projects can you do with the doll? We have a couple of plug-in sensors that work with the doll to expand the project capabilities, in addition to the built-in sensors that already exist on the microbit. One of these is the distance sensor, which allows you to make projects such as a security alarm to keep out your pesky brother. We have a plant moisture sensor, which allows the child to monitor the moisture and water levels in various plants around the house and see when they need to be watered. We have a pulse sensor, which allows you to build even a primitive activity monitor or a truth detector. And now we're going to take a look at a small demo. And this is our resident cute child named Maria, who's going to demo two projects, one with the pulse sensor and one with the distance sensor.
We're using a pulse sensor, which measures your heartbeat. You can use the pulse sensor to make exercise trackers and so much more. To use it here today, Maria's going to put her finger on the pulse sensor, and I'm going to ask her a question, and then it's going to show if she's telling the truth or not. So, Maria, who do you love more, your mom or your dad?
My mom.
Let's hope your dad doesn't see this. Here we have a demo of a theremin. Basically, it's a magic piano you play in the air with your hands. We're using an ultrasonic distance sensor, and the lights are reacting accordingly. You can also use the sensor to build security alarms, motion detectors, and much more.
Cool. Thank you, Maria. And obviously there's a ton more we could show you, but I have a limited amount of time. So lastly, I just wanted to show you some research I conducted during my PhD about girls' coding preferences. The choice of a doll was intentional, and it's deeper than the notion of just make it pink and girls will like it. So what I found in one of my studies was when you asked girls and boys ages 5 to 12 what interface they would prefer to code an Arduino in, obviously we explained to them what an Arduino was. Almost 76% of girls prefer to code an Arduino inside a doll format, and 95% of boys prefer to code it in a race car. I also found that just one 10-minute positive interaction with coding and hardware using the doll increased young girls' interest in these topics, as reported by their parents in a follow-up study. So I'm planning to launch on Kickstarter this summer with our E-liza Doll version 1.0. If you're interested, go to our website and join our mailing list to be alerted when we launch. We also have a funny video coming soon. So please follow me on Instagram or Twitter to stay updated about our process. We have a TikTok coming soon. Thank you for your attention, and be sure to join our mailing list or follow us on social media to really get all the updates about our launch. And if you scan this QR code, it'll take you to our website. Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here today.